as I'm sure you guys know, too many men these days, they take too much bullshit from women because they just don't have other options. And at the time, you know, I was kind of a thirsty guy, always looking for options, and, you know, not applying myself to a mission that's not women. And you know, and of course, you know, that's probably one of my problems, and that's probably why the marriage fell apart too, is because, you know, I didn't take accountability for my part. You know, I wasn't taking the leadership role seriously and having my own mission. Instead, my mission was, you know, oh, girls. You know, it's like that's not a guy you want to be married to. You know, you don't want to be married to a guy that's constantly looking for another girl. You know, that's stupid. You know, but of course, you know, I was an idiot and I didn't realize that. Another good lesson I learned too, though, was, you know, the stretching it out and definitely not committing right off the bat. I think I allowed her to move in too quickly, and I should have stayed away a little bit longer, because had I done that, I think she would have moved on to somebody else that would have provided for her quicker. And I think that's what she was mainly looking for, was, you know, a provider that she could not necessarily take advantage of on purpose, but you know, just provide for her. And, you know, of course, that's, you know, another, you know, problem. You don't want to just move right in with a girlfriend after 3 months. You know, you want to probably stretch it out for at least 6 months. Make sure that she's got her own place and that she's inviting you over to her place, you know, so that you can kind of see her living situation and like what her situation is. Because, you know, her, and, you know, I've had that problem with a lot of girls where they never invite me over to their place. It's always they come over to my place, but that's it. And, you know, it's like, that's probably not the best, because they're obviously hiding me from something else, or they're hiding things from me because they don't want me to know about it. Because if I knew about it, I would probably be like, whoa, what's going on here? Oh, you live with a boyfriend and you're hanging out with me? That's a no, you know? But of course, since I haven't been over to their place, I don't know that they even live with a guy. Yeah, of course, now I think I'm smarter because of those lessons learned, because now I'm like, okay, you know, sure, I'll pick you up a couple times, but I'm not gonna pursue a relationship with a girl who's doing that, you know? What do they say? Once a cheater, always a cheater, you know? Still working on, you know, work in progress, of course. But, you know, we're gonna stop over here and get some coffee. Actually, you know what? Let's get some gas first. Leave in the comments, you know, what lessons have you guys learned, you know, from your prior relationships, you know? I mean, because it's like, you can't change them, you can only change you, and you can only change your reaction to what other people do. And, you know, so, you know, my reaction to her cheating was filing for divorce and leaving. But, you know, I'll tell you personally, experience took me like 3 tries here before I finally learned some of my lessons, you know. I mean, there's a couple other people that, you know, after my ex-wife that I definitely could have got into a relationship with. But, you know, after learning these lessons 3 times over, I finally was like, you know, this is not a good thing. No, I should not be doing that. You know, I don't want somebody that doesn't give a shit about my interest or my best interest and only cares about them, you know, because that's not a good person to be in a relationship with at all. You know, and, you know, I'm trying to not be that guy either, you know. My gas tank here is kind of fucked up. I probably need to get another one at some point, but, like, if you guys can see right here, one of my springs is gone. So it gets questionable sometimes. Yeah, I still wonder if my if that spring from here, if it fell into the gas tank, and I hope that it doesn't like clog like a spot where the gas is getting pulled out or something. That would be that would be problematic for sure. But I hope that it didn't do that. Well, you know what? I do want to go get coffee, but I think we're gonna go get coffee somewhere else. I find, at least when I'm writing, my brain most of the time is like, hey, don't die. So when it's telling me not to die, it makes me focus on the road. And just talking to you guys and focusing on the road is like hard sometimes. And I find that that's very helpful, because it brings you into the present moment, and it doesn't make you it doesn't even give you the ability to ruminate or to think about your problems or like the stress or whatever of like other things. It mainly just keeps you focused in the moment, and I find that that's very helpful. It's almost like meditation, I would say. So we are getting on the freeway here. I love getting on the freeway on a motorcycle, but I hate doing it when there's traffic in front. You can kind of go fast on the freeway, but as long as you're not going, 100 or 2, 110 or 120, cops tend to really frown on that.